My name's Vegeta. Tonight we're going to talk about power levels and why they're important. Shit, wrong show. My name's Mike. Here's Charlie, Alex, and Dylan again, and welcome to the Nerdy Night Lounge, bitches, where tonight we're going to be talking about video games.
And not just any video games, but our favorite video games. The video games closest to our heart, and then E3.
What's E3?
We're not talking about E3. We're going to murder Mikey on camera.
I can't even think of a word that has 3 E's in it.
Everyone.
This is why you're the wizard. Anyways.
That was fantastic, Alex. Not
I
gonna
know,
lie.
I know.
Just your mastery of English.
I am just that good. But Scrabble is not a game that we're going to be talking about today.
We talk about good games.
But can you think of a word that has 3 sets of double letters in a row? Like AABBCC.
No.
Bookkeeper.
Okay.
Anyway.
So, about those video games.
Favorite game for me is probably the Mass Effect trilogy. Like, everything that could be done right in terms of plot and story development and character development. And
Except for the
gameplay.
end.
I was about to say everything that could have gone wrong with gameplay.
Yeah, the ending, well, we won't talk about that, because I like talking about the good parts of the games I love.
Oh no, we're talking about it.
No, we're not.
For those watching, Mike has not finished the game. I strongly encourage spoilers just for my entertainment, but then I'd probably have to leave this room forever without my camera. But it's a great balance of taking a game and making sequels better, learning from your mistakes, listening to your fans, and while the ending was frustrating, 98% of 3 was perfect, in my opinion. That's mine. From start to finish, my characters developed. I truly felt lost when they died, when certain characters that I had picked certain decisions died, and there's just nothing more satisfying than watching Krogans charge people.
Even just playing through the first one, that's all I've done. I just started the second one to where you rescue Varys, who was apparently Archangel, which was badass. Blew my fucking dick. But
See, I have not
your
finished.
fucking dick.
I have not finished that game because at the time it came out, I was playing Dragon Age, which, from what I understand, and what I've played a little bit so far, is sci-fi, or the fantasy version of...
Exactly.
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, yeah, Dragon Age and Mass Effect were made within each other. They actually, what they learned from Mass Effect, they applied to Dragon Age.
And vice versa.
And vice versa, because the sequels came out
You know
intermittently.
what Dragon Age and Mass Effect both have in common?
What?
4 hours in, I went, fuck this shit, and never played them again.
I don't know,
Oh,
I'm pretty
man.
pumped for Dragon Age Inquisition. That looks badass.
I'm
as
never
hell.
going to play Dragon Age again. Don't ever just do melee party. You'll break controllers.
The first
Why
game.
would you just do a melee party?
Like I said, don't do that.
Exactly.
And I learned my lesson.
You play as a rogue, and you have a healer, and an archer, and a warrior.
And I had all warriors, and I paid the price.
I put my MMO knowledge to it. I'm like, okay, what would an MMO
I'm not
party
an
have?
MMO player. I have
It's
a
like,
life.
okay, let's do this.
But
You have
anyway,
a wife? What's her name?
life.
Oh, I was wondering who was dumb enough to love you
Well, you.
deeply.
We're going to get to that later, guys. You were saying something.
What? Oh yeah, no, just where I stopped playing Dragon Age. When they put you in the little magic shadow realm thing, and you had to do the 4 identical puzzles as different things, and then it just drug on forever and it's not any fun at all, that was when I stopped playing.
Yeah.
I, however, played Dragon Age non-stop for probably a good 3 weeks. I actually had people sending me messages saying, Alex, you need to come hang out with us because, well, you're obsessing.
You know, I'm making fun, but my
I did the
save
same
file
thing.
where I
I'm
finally
doing the same
beat
thing with Mass
Morrowind,
Effect.
my save file when I finally beat Morrowind had 653 hours of playtime on it.
The sad part is that's actually a small amount. Morrowind is a drug. It is a drug and a half.
No, I know about drugs, and Morrowind is worse than drug.
It is. I have a friend of mine. Morrowind has 20,000 mods on it. It is still one of the most actively modded games of all time.
I'm in one of the
fact,
mods. Go ahead.
in regards to that, of the series, it goes Morrowind as the best, then Skyrim, and Oblivion's the worst. Based off of...
Oblivion wasn't that good.
Yeah, but Yeah, I got a friend who loves it just as much as you do. He's nuts.
I liked Oblivion more than Skyrim.
Really?
Mhm.
I didn't.
I think the game that took up not my favorite game, but World of Warcraft definitely took up most of my time.
On you and
Like,
a lot of other people.
no, like one day, like it was like a month or two before I quit.
No, he reinstalled WoW one day when I was here, and I didn't hear him say a word for the next 4 hours.
Yeah, and this is why I don't get into WoW. I just try and stay away from it. But back we were in Wrath of the Lich King. So there's been 2 expansions since then, with another one coming out.
Yep.
I had like a year and a half worth of logged in time.
Yeah, I believe that.
I played WoW for about a year and a half. I had about 22 days of logged in time on one character, and the rest of them were like under 4 hours.
I played WoW for about 8 months.
You did a lot of the free servers.
I did.
'Cause I
did
remember
free
trying to
servers.
get you to play. You're like, no, I play free servers.
It was, man, my paladin was glorious with all those loot drops.
The only way you could get me to play in a free server was if the drop rates and everything were the same as the vanilla servers.
See, the other thing is that I had never played the vanilla servers. So all that I knew was, oh, I killed a boss and I automatically get all the best loot. All right. And then I started playing on a paid server and I was like, this is really slow. I want to be leveling forever.
Alex, man, you missed out on the best part of WoW, arguing with fucktards about pants.
Oh no, I got to that point.
Or maybe that's Diablo 3. I haven't played
But-
that, but I've seen plenty of that going on.
I think my
Made by
favorite.
the same makers.
Oh, I know. I'm just like what the buck pants thing.
I think my favorite game. A lot of people hated on it. I fucking loved it. Final Fantasy XI, hands down best MMO ever created. Until they released the newer expansions and killed it.
Oh, and I think the best
Fuck
MMO
you,
ever
Square
created
Enix.
was for Cadia.
I've never.
Furcadia.
It
I
sounds
feel
like
like
some kind of furries.
It is a furry game.
that this sounds like something that we need to like find a picture of on the internet and just put it on the screen.
We need to do a let's play for Acadia.
We could let's play some for Cadia. It's a social game where you all just have like furry avatars and you can customize the colors.
Now, what about you, Alex? Favorite game?
My
Or is it
favorite game.
Dragon Age.
No, it's not Dragon Age. Legend of Dragoon. Legend of Dragoon for the
Okay.
PS1
Alright.
was by far the best game I have ever played. There's a lot that's come close to it, but I have never played a game that immersed me so fully.
See, Speary guy died, and I was like, man, my tank is gone.
Spirit guy.
I know his name, but
And it was back in the days when, you know, whenever you would save the file 5 times before you did what the screen said and put it in disk 2, because you were on the risk of losing everything.
oh, let me tell you
Oh,
about
Lord.
playing Rivet on the PS1.
Oh god. Wasn't it fun? You ever have a sibling who erased everything on your game card because they wanted revenge?
You ever have a
And then
multi-disc
you
game
realize
missing
just
disc
how
two?
violent of a person you could be.
No,
I've-
me and my brother had the agreement. We had our own memory cards and we didn't touch each other.
Yeah. My sister took mine and threw it in a bottle of Kool-Aid. And then I got in trouble because I beat the crap out of her.
I'm an only child.
Charlie just admitted to beating women. Please tear him up in the comments.
I can't.
One of my friends who shall remain nameless once, King Leonidas kicked his sister in the stomach for drinking a can of Monster that belonged to him.
This is Monster.
This is sibling rivalry.
She walks into the room smirking, you left it in the fridge, and he stands up without saying a word and just kicks her square in the stomach.
Anyways, E3. Most important part of E3
Hold
is
on. Dylan, what's your favorite game?
My favorite game is Morrowind.
we already talked
Without
about
fail,
this.
man. There's no other option. In
Okay.
my mind.
I had a friend of mine actually did a Morrowind mod, and for some reason right now it escapes me. But I'm actually in that mod. Yeah.
So it's a terrible mod?
Yeah, so if you want to have a bad Morrowind experience, find that mod and
No,
download it.
no. There's a character who is an elf by the name of Camna Sumbra, and he builds shit.
I was thinking they added another race to the game and it was Polish.
Touche, Dylan. Touche. I don't have a damn thing to say about it.
Could you imagine just Dark Elf, Argonian, Breton, Polish?
No, it'd be called
It's just Alex with
Polak.
rape face. Rape face activate.
Rape face. That I would play a character that
This
brave
this
face.
class has a plus 50 on intimidate checks.
There's no intimidate in Morrowind.
But there is on rape face.
Yeah.
But as I was saying before, Charlie made Dylan repeat himself. Fucking dick.
It led to that Polish joke, and I have no regrets.
E3. There's only one thing that needs to be talked about from E3. The evil within.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god.
I haven't seen anything from E3 really, so I'm going to stay quiet.
Okay,
for
so
part
it's
of
a
this.
Bethesda game from the creator of Resident Evil, and the trailer is just like a guy covered in blood cutting apart barbed wire with wire cutters, while a person with broken glass sticking out of his entire body sneaks up behind him holding a giant fucking hammer.
Yeah, it's essentially you take like Resident Evil with Manhunt and Splinter Cell, and you've got the evil within. It's
Oh,
like
I love Splinter Cell.
I got
like
a
a-
hard on for stealth games.
it's like a stealth horror.
I just have a hard on.
It looks so badass.
That's incredible.
And like it's looking through the trailer and stuff, like there's enemies that you cannot kill. It's like this boss guy that chases you, he's the main guy.
Yeah,
Like,
his name is Nemesis. I mean, no, it's not.
But anyways, he comes out and like he'll be following you, and they showed this in the E3 footage. And you can't kill him. You shoot him, he gets close. He teleports closer to you, and if he touches you, it's instant death.
Like, at one point they shoot him and run away, and then they run down this hallway, and he's down the fucking hallway.
Yeah, he teleports around. He like tries to direct. From what I was looking, like it almost looks like he tries to direct you to where the bad guys are that are gonna fuck your shit up.
Oh, and the enemies play dead. Like, you'll shoot them, the prerequisite number of times for them to die, they'll fall over, you go over to try to loot the corpse, they'll jump up and start biting you.
Half the time, bullets don't kill him. The best way that I was seeing to kill him, shoot him in the leg, because it has a really great physics engine. The leg goes out from underneath them, they fall, you throw a match on them.
Wow, that's awesome. How's the lighting pretty big part of that too?
Yeah.
It
Like
looks
flashlights
a
and
lot
stuff?
like Amnesia.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
I love
fantastic.
Amnesia.
My 3 games for this year, the trailers that I saw that just blew my mind. Mortal Kombat is going to be if that trailer is real. There's so much of it that looks like an actual fighting game, and so much of it that looks like
That trailer is beautiful.
pre-rendered.
Is it going to replace Naruto?
Yes. There's no question. Naruto's fun, but that's just I can't
Naruto's
see
fun.
organs literally crumble under my fists of death and fire.
I've seen organs crumble.
Yeah, the second game for me, it's the pre-sequel to Borderlands.
I thought you were going to say Fable, because I got a whole write-up about how shitty that
You'll get to hear that in a moment.
No, but that pre-sequel looks so good. I'm going to be Claptrap. That will happen.
Claptrap is the only class.
You're not gonna, nobody's gonna do multiplayer because everybody wants to play fucking
It's
Claptrap.
gonna be him. And one of his abilities is he's going to run around, don't shoot me, and just spit grenades at people. That's all I need. That's literally all I will do. That will be my only goal in that game.
And you laugh every time.
Yes.
We need like Claptrap the game and Gimli the movie.
Amen. Thank you.
No, you need to take fucking Brick from Anchorman and have a Brick movie spin-off. If you can spin off anything.
Or you can
That
just
would
take,
make a great TV series.
or you can just take
Yeah.
Brick from Borderlands 1 and put him in that role and see what happens.
You could take Brick from Borderlands 1 and put him in the new Anchorman movie.
And put Brick from Anchorman in Borderlands 1.
I would be fine with everything that was just said. Do that, developers. And the third one for me, and not everyone shares this, but new Assassin's Creed. I hate to be this person, but it looks fantastic. They always pull me back in with the new gimmick. This one's the main story mode is 4-player, like Borderlands 2. Obviously, nowhere near as good as Borderlands 2, but you can assassinate people together. That's gonna do that.
I have to pause everything. What's that, Brick? It's a gun from the future. Where'd you get that? I had to throw that out there. I'm done.
Is that the end of Anchorman 2? Yeah.
I haven't seen Anchorman 2.
I forgot about that part. So he has been in Borderlands 2. It's the same fucking guy.
I'll never. The best quote ever was just loud noises, and then I don't know what we're yelling about, I don't know what you're yelling about, and then screaming loud.
And so that part isn't important here.
I don't know, screaming loud noises is something Brick would do in Borderlands.
Yeah, as he's using guns that did. He just, that was his battle cry. Loud noises! Loud noises!
Guess what the only character I ever played in Borderlands was?
Was it Brick?
0? Oh,
Yeah.
right.
No, Borderlands 2 I played 0, but yeah.
In the first one, my favorite character for that was the Siren. Because invisible, 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 and I'm gonna punch you and explode everything.
I played as Brick because when you activated his power, he started laughing maniacally and punching things.
With explosive fists.
I know the explosive rune in the fist, just, that never left.
Just dumb. Unbelievably dumb. The most overpowered one was the sniper. Because that, a crow should never be that, a hawk should never be that powerful.
I have no idea.
That just, it made no sense. There's just no reason that a hawk, it was a hawk.
There's no reason for you to be that powerful.
It just, a hawk, I agree. In any game. Like, I'm not used to being that powerful. And it was amazing.
Anyway, E3, you guys, back to quiet time for me.
Of the three, I felt like Sony had the best presentation overall. A lot of really good games lined up.
Well, it's Sony, of course.
I feel like I ignored everything I ever saw with a Nintendo logo on it and all of the E3 coverage I saw.
Then you enjoyed E3. Because if you saw that part, then you're probably angry.
I couldn't give any less of a shit about Nintendo.
I don't see why Nintendo even goes to E3 anymore. They're not a console anymore. It's like a reduce.
No, like they're just gonna keep making stupid peripherals and then forcing people to make
Like-
games for them.
I was so excited. Nintendo's coming out with a new console. Fuck yeah. GameCube was okay.
Oh, look, it's a tablet
Super
with a control
Nintendo was
stick.
amazing. Fuck yeah.
N64, fantastic.
N64 was. I bought the Wii when I got it like 2 or 3 months after it came out. I waited for like months on a waiting list to get this motherfucker because everybody wanted it. Got it, played it for a week, and gave it away to my little brother because it was fucking terrible, and went back to playing Xbox.
You know, I can only think of one game on the GameCube I actually liked.
Wind Waker?
Eternal Darkness.
Never played
And
it.
you know what? No. Any of the Metroid games for GameCube.
Okay, yeah, that's not fair. Metroid Prime was a bitch in series.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Metroid.
was. I was gonna say Metroid Prime. That was the highlight of that series. It has not gotten better since that one for the game.
That one was amazing.
Oh, you see that Game Boy there? I have Return of Samus for that.
Oh, good man. But the GameCube, I played a crap ton of games on the GameCube. It was fantastic. I loved it because it was perfect controller in my opinion.
Yeah, that
But
controller was coming.
Resident 4 first came out on GameCube. Super Smash Bros. Melee is God's gift to man.
No, it's not,
Yes,
because
it
the
is.
first one exists.
No, the first one was shit. The first one is terrible, frustrating,
I
angry.
have to disagree and
I
take
hate
Dylan's
it.
up.
I have to come over there and beat the
That's
shit out of you.
completely
Just every-
fine. You go right ahead. Melee is literally why
That's-
that series kept
That is not a
going.
valid opinion, and I insist you change it.
That's
Are
fine.
you on my side here, Alex?
I think
Like,
we're
we're all just like Nintendo 64 asshole. Like,
PlayStation 1 over the N64 any day.
no way.
There's
no fucking way.
PS1 definitely over N64, but Super Smash Brothers was better on the 64.
No, it was not.
Yeah, it was.
In
It
any way,
was
shape,
much
or
better.
form.
Jigglypuff like a motherfucker.
This
I'll
is-
wreck house.
I hate
There's
that
only
thing.
one reason the PS1 was better than the N64. It's because it had the Final Fantasy games on it.
And Legend of Dragoon.
Yeah.
But,
Final Fantasy
but no,
VII.
no. Super Smash Brothers,
Colony Wars.
it never got any better than it did on that N64.
No.
Man, I have to
I
just,
mean-
I disagree.
Like, I mean, I understand we added 1 million characters that have the same movesets, and, you know, it was all real flashy and pretty, but, like, it never got any better. It was like the same
I
thing.
It was-
disagree. Melee was
it was
everything I
perfect.
could have ever wanted in the game. I literally could not. I played the first one like twice and just saw nothing in it. Melee came out, put roughly 3,000 hours in that game.
It took someone an hour to convince me to play Brawl one day. You know how they finally did it? By telling me Rob 64 was a playable character.
Let's not talk about that. That was not fun. But yeah, that's. But the Wii in my opinion did exactly what Xbox just did. The Wii took everything good about the GameCube, threw it out the window, gave a middle finger to all their hardcore audience. They had like 5 hardcore games on that the entire time.
Yeah, no, Zelda fans been buying Nintendo consoles for one game for like 2 decades now.
Yeah.
And Mario. Zelda and Mario. That's
Yeah.
the only thing Nintendo has going for
And
it.
there's 2 of them. Mario Galaxy 1 and 2,
Were
Zelda?
both a lot of fun.
Brawl, and that was it. Those were the only hardcore games in my opinion. The rest of them, how many third-party carnival games and
I don't know, man.
workout games?
How about
just-
the GameCube version of Manhunt? Dude, the execution thing for the GameCube version of Manhunt was taking the Wiimote and making a stabbing motion.
I can see that being fun.
That's still only one more game. We still have not broken the 5-game mark.
I'm not even actually sure the GameCube or the Wii version of Manhunt even came out.
Yeah, and
I
just
think it might have gotten canceled.
it just broke my heart. And then Microsoft did the same thing. They just took everything good about the Xbox 360, threw it out a window, tried going PC with lesser hardware. No one in their right mind is ever going to take a console and try and compete directly with the PC market. It's just not fair. The whole point of getting a console is it's a cheap PC and you accept the limitations
I
that
don't know,
brings.
Sega sure tried. I have
Yeah.
sir.
Because they're such a great example of long-term console success.
Now the Dreamcast was the shit. I don't give a fuck.
I don't care. It was
The Dreamcast was wonderful.
I never had one, never played one.
I have one.
Oh man. Okay.
Is it in this apartment?
It's at Charles's house.
Okay. The best thing that Dreamcast did, and I thought this was, I didn't realize how much ingenious it was at the time. Things like Tamagotchi and the little Hey You
I
Pikachu
never had one
things.
now.
Those were really popular at the time the Dreamcast came out. So like, okay, we've got this game system. What else can we do? We're gonna make the memory cards into Tamagotchi type things, and that's genius.
Okay, here's what Dreamcast did right. I have Nightmare Creatures 2 for the Dreamcast. There's a little sticker on the front cover of Nightmare Creatures 2. You know what it says?
What?
Soundtrack by Rob Zombie.
That's all you need.
That's all I needed.
What about Twisted Metal 4?
Twisted Metal 3 was better for the soundtrack. But
Actually, since we have gone over our favorite games, most hated game of all time.
Mass Effect.
Seriously.
Like, no, I'm not even fucking playing.
Yeah, he wouldn't even touch
No.
it.
You know, most hated game that where we're not branched out into things like Hello Kitty Island Adventure was
That's just hateable on premise.
Bernstein
the,
Bears Extreme Rodeo Challenge?
No. I have never played a game that upset me more than the first Borderlands. And here's why. No. Here's why.
Was it the Hackers? Because that was fun.
No, it's a fucking ending.
It is. It's like I played. Me and a bunch of my buddies sat around in this cramped ass room playing the first Borderlands. We found every little secret, and it probably took us at least 40 hours. And it was like, yeah, we're building up. We're building up. We're gonna find this cache of guns. There's gonna be a final boss fight. It's gonna be amazing. We get there, we fight tentacles coming out of a portal, and then end credits.
I'm going to stop you right there, Alex. Nine Toes also has 3 balls.
Fantastic, because you know what? It was at that point that I couldn't play games for like a week because I was furious. And there are people who will back me up on this because that's the kind of rage that I experienced.
Mikey?
Deleted from the computer.
I have friends that got that mad about the last ICP album.
Yeah, it all depends on how much. But
I did with
I can completely understand.
Atreyu's Let's Say.
No, I can completely understand why that pissed you off so much. Because while it's not the worst experience I've had in the game, Mass Effect 3 did the same thing for me on its first ending. They redacted it and made it better, but same thing, same like range. The worst 2 games in my life. If you play Call of Duty and you call yourself a gamer, he's made mention of this. Die.
Also,
That escalated quickly.
also, Assassin's Creed and Halo are on that same tier.
Except
I like
and
Halo,
Assassin's Creed.
sir.
Yeah.
but those
he
are
has
the-
threatened someone's life on almost every
I know,
episode.
but I just did. But I mean,
But-
the demographic of stupid young people playing games is from COD. I played it for a long time, but oh my god,
They're still there from the fish.
the intelligence, yes.
Every time someone calls Call of Duty COD, I picture that Dreamcast game, Seaman. With guns.
Just the amount of hate I've learned to have for the human race has spawned from that series in all its forms.
We don't hate any of you. We love you.
Unless any of you are
Unless
furries.
they call
Then
Duty.
I really do.
No, I still love you.
No, I do too.
But
You can-
the other
you can-
one is unnecessarily hard games. The one coming to mind is Dark Souls.
No, fucking Shinobi. Shinobi on the PS2.
I
Fuck
don't-
you, Shinobi.
Yeah, fuck
you.
that. Fuck the whole thing. Like, just.
I made it to the 3rd mission. After 14 hours, I was still on the 3rd mission. Granted, this was when I was in like the 5th grade, but I still can't go back to that game.
Okay,
Fuck you, Shinobi.
I finished the original God of War on God mode.
Oh, how? How did you do
It's
that?
hard.
Patience.
Yeah, how did you save his wife
With his
on
penis.
God mode?
By being the
There's
man.
no way.
By
I
being
think
the
you're
man.
lying.
I'm not
You're
lying.
fucking lying.
I'm
I
not
made
lying.
it to his wife. I beat Ares in 1-1 combat, but every time, 112 times, I died and failed to save his wife. I broke the game.
It's because you
I just
weren't.
took it out, snapped
It's
it.
because you didn't find the condom of glory.
I have in my COD is the worst one for breaking controllers, but I get angry when I do that. It's the only time I've ever snapped a game in half. COD has been responsible for 12 controller breaks.
I've only physically damaged a controller once. It was this really
You're a better
crap.
man than me. But then again, you beat God of War on God mode. So
I
you
rage
are a
on
god.
it. I rage on every game I play. I got told in I don't remember where I was. I was out in public somewhere and I was playing my Game Boy. And I was playing Pokemon and I forgot to save and lost in a gym and got pissed and chucked my Game Boy across the room.
Yeah.
We've actually
Oh.
considered having a separate channel for Mikey raging.
I snapped a controller in half playing Ape Escape one day, like the original. Like I was playing Ape Escape and I was doing a double jump and the double jump did not happen and I just grabbed the PlayStation 2 controller like this and twisted.
Yeah. I've had that happen.
I loved that game though.
I do too.
Ah.
I have it on the PSP.
It's a great. This is one of the PlayStation 2's best. That was when the dual analog stick got started, and that's when I really just fell in love with it because platforming became so much easier. Worst rage quit you've ever had?
League of Legends, hands down. League of
Now,
Legends.
me rage quitting League of Legends was amazing.
No.
Like it was so much fun, but
I actually had the downstairs neighbor come upstairs because she thought I was beating somebody. I don't think Alex was here for this.
No, I wasn't.
So we're playing. I don't even remember what happened. Something pissed me off. It's not hard to do in that game. I stand up and literally start pounding my desk, my keyboard as hard as I can. My $90 Razer gaming keyboard, which is now missing buttons and doesn't work half the time. And uninstalled the game and went to bed. For the rest of the night, there was like 7.
I was playing League of Legends one day, and I was playing a character I'd never played before. It was Mundo.
Fuck that.
And I'm playing Mundo, and this kid just, Mundo, you're so bad. Why don't you uninstall the game? Why the fuck don't I? And then I did. I signed out and uninstalled the game.
Yeah. Alex?
You know, I don't really rage that often. What I do is more accurately described as closing the game no matter what I'm doing and just going away.
You're a better man than
I think the last time that I raged on a game was probably Star Fox 64.
that can cause rage.
Yeah.
That can cause a lot of rage. When barrel rolls decide to not happen, that happened a lot.
I don't know, barrel rolls don't decide to not happen.
Well, like, I was trying, there was this one mission where you're on this planet, and you're defending a base, and there's like hundreds of these little bitty ships, and then the mothership comes down, and it's all pew 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 everywhere.
Oh, Fortuna?
Yeah, that's it.
Or no, wait. Yeah.
No, that's his name.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was trying to get the medal on it. And the medal is you kill everything, and then you kill the mothership.
On Fortuna, it's 150 kills.
Yeah. I kept like losing.
I played a little Star Fox 64, got just a little.
Just a little. Yeah,
It,
that's, yeah.
I kept losing one of
I
them.
still don't know how you did that.
I don't know how, but like my guess is that it kept going above the mothership.
I just.
These guys are being rude. No.
I'm sorry. Just you don't understand any of the God of War games in God mode.
I've never played any of the sequels, just the first one.
2 and 3 were better than the first.
I haven't
ones.
played all the way through the second one and haven't touched the third one.
Yeah, third one's the best, but that's irrelevant.
So Katana, you can't. Yeah.
Yeah, the last one would always like get stuck somewhere, and I wouldn't be able to shoot it. I wanted that fucking medal. I think that I got grounded for a couple days, which wasn't unusual, for like just throwing the controller into the wall. It was bad.
You only got a couple days for that?
Shut up. We're not going to talk about that.
I once I didn't do this, but I was present for it. I was playing Halo 2, and I beat this guy really bad. It was like I was physically in the room with him, and he took his controller and he went outside and swung it around by the cord and slammed it into concrete.
The worst rage quit I ever did, and I've had some bad ones, because you can tell, as big as I am, it's very easy for me to break things.
Oh, it was that time you tried to charge on Guy.
No, that was a very well contained one. But I had gotten so angry. It was over. It was Modern Warfare 2, worst one I ever had.
Was it a campaign?
No, it was
Okay.
multiplayer.
I was gonna say.
And I wasn't playing good at all, and that wasn't the problem. But just this one kid who's had to be 9 years old. Everything that you can say that was deplorable about a mother, my mother's the same. It just got to me, and he beat me one final time. He said something that just put me off the edge, and I punched the wall and put a hole in the wall. And it was a slow spiral of rage after that, because then I pulled my hand out of the wall, making the hole bigger. And then in that anger, I just threw the controller on the ground. Because the controller didn't break, I got angrier and took the controller and slammed it until it broke.
Controllers are fucking expensive, guys.
I'm well aware. And then I grabbed my console and I was about to throw it out the window until my roommate stopped me. That was the worst that I ever had.
That's not a very good roommate.
I've only ever
a true roommate would have pulled out the video camera.
I've
like,
only-
we're about to get famous on YouTube, bitch.
I was so ready to just take. I mean, I was going to throw it. And he's like, Charlie, you need to calm down. And it was all I could do not to kill him.
I've only destroyed a console once.
And I've never destroyed a console or computer. I mean, accessories like controllers. But I'm glad he stopped me. But I have never played a Call of Duty, nor will I ever play a Call of Duty again. Like I said, if you play, die.
I threw an Xbox 360 off a balcony once.
Oh, I wish I was there.
Into a volcano.
No, my Xbox red ringed for the 4th time. I called up Microsoft. They were like, "Yeah, your warranty's up." They hear crash. What was that? Oh, I just threw my Xbox off a balcony. Have a great night. Hung up.
But that's not. That's understandable.
Eh.
At that point, it only had the service of being dropped on the concrete. It's probably a nicer fate than just steal red ring on your fucking red ring of death. What a just fail.
I got another 360. The disc tray's broken, and I never bothered to get it fixed.
Alex bought Dishonored. Don't let him tell you what happened.
Oh man, you know what? I didn't rage, but I was.
I think that was the closest I've ever seen you to rage.
man.
Jay.
What part?
Okay, so what
Even
happened is Dishonored.
Yeah.
I wanted it bad.
I
had been-
pre-ordered like months in
I
advance.
pre-ordered it like whenever it was a concept,
Yeah, it's a great game.
and I was waiting for it. And I was waiting for it. I had it pre-ordered for the PS3. Yeah, awesome. And so I finally get it. The day it comes out, go out and I pick it up, and I come home, get it out of the wrapper, go to turn on my PS3 and put it in there, and the PS3 yellow lighted. I mean, I didn't even get to play it. I was, oh man.
Oh man.
No, didn't you
Oh.
you turned it on, got everything, made sure everything was cool here, and then brought it to the girl you were seeing at the time's house, and set it up, and it didn't work.
Yeah, I thought maybe it was just like a fluke or something.
I had just gotten a game when my Xbox disc tray stopped working. I just got home from GameStop with the Sega Mega Collection. I was gonna play me some fucking Vector Man, and no, I wasn't.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
I learned one thing. One of my friends, he said, "Hey Charlie, if you want to save your equipment, hit your leg." Like there's some people who just kind of pound their leg to doing it. But I get so angry, I don't hold back, and I find that if you do this for about 4 hours, your ability to walk in any
What
manner.
video game are you getting so fucking mad at that you're hitting yourself for 4 hours?
Modern Warfare.
Life. He gets mad at himself for life.
Like,
Quit getting mad about video games,
yeah,
Charlie.
like it just, and I couldn't do that because I literally hit my leg so hard it swelled up that I need crutches the next day. So that
you
stopped.
punched your leg so much that you needed crutches the next day.
Yep.
Over Modern Warfare.
Yep. Like I said.
Charlie, if you are ever playing a game at my house, and I even suspect your blood pressure is raised, I'm asking you to leave.
No, you should. I'm about to say this has happened numerous times.
Actually, when I was in elementary
I've
school,
watched Charlie stop playing Naruto when I got a lucky shot off.
this in elementary school, this kid I went to school with did a science experiment
Yeah.
where he monitored his father's blood pressure while he was nerd raging at video games. And he had like graphs of which game made his dad's heart rate go up the highest and shit. Like it was beautiful.
And it made sense because different games do it. There's some games that are just great to calm you down.
Apparently, Final Fantasy IX put that man on the verge of a heart attack. Like,
I couldn't see parts of it. Worst one for me was 7. It was my favorite, but
8 was the best one made that was for single player. 8 was amazing.
I think 6.
let me tell you about walking all over the map, pressing X, hoping you get some spells. Yeah. Okay.
No, you didn't have to. You just had to look for draw points. You had to know where to look.
That's what I'm saying. Walking all over the map, pressing X, hoping you get some spells.
So we've covered our worst rage quit, best game, worst game, best game story, I guess. Favorite story told.
My favorite story told is beating fucking God of War on God mode. Like,
Well, I meant plot-wise for the
Oh,
game,
okay.
like a story told.
Oh, okay.
Because there's some gaming plot lines that could never be movies, in my opinion. You could only make them a story by playing it.
Mass Effect. Well, I haven't even made it all the way through it.
It's a great story, yes, but it's kind of your story. I mean, like
Exactly.
Bioshock
Yeah.
Infinite, in my opinion, has got one of the single best plot lines I have ever seen, ever. Period. Just beautiful. I'm told that what's it called? It's PlayStation 3, the Indiana Jones games, or the similar ones.
I don't care what anybody says.
Uncharted.
I
Uncharted,
love the
thank you.
story for Final Fantasy X.
Final Fantasy X had a great story.
I don't.
It didn't have the greatest gameplay?
No,
No,
I
it didn't,
agree.
by
I
far,
agree
but-
until it came out with 10.2.
Oh, okay, no. Pretend 2 doesn't exist. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, Charlie.
I liked it. It was fan service to the game. What was it like?
Fucking God.
No, all 10-2 was, hey, look at how we do curves.
All 10-2 was, do you think you can play Final Fantasy one-handed?
The answer is yes. The answer is yes.
I hate. I mean, just like taking something so perfect, just like the Star Wars,
The thing-
and then making the Star Wars prequel.
Speaking of Star Wars, oh my god, E3.
Yeah.
E3, that Star Wars open world game. Do you know who's making that, Charlie?
I do not.
It's the developers from Dante's Inferno and Dead Space.
Yeah.
There's a setback. They also made Dead Space 3.
Dead Space 3 was
Dead
fantastic.
Space 3 was
Not
good.
I liked it.
No, it wasn't. No, it was.
It wasn't the same game. Like
This
the
is
first-
This is coming from somebody that likes Assassin's Creed. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly. So I have a perfect understanding of what good quality. games are.
I do like Assassin's Creed actually, as illustrated by that.
That's why you never picked up the game you pre-ordered.
Okay, I liked. I didn't like number 1.
Nope.
Few people did.
I liked number 2. I loved number 2.
Number 1 was bad enough to make me never play another game in the series.
That's why I
Number
never played
1 was
it.
like a beta.
That's why I've never played them, because number 1 was
Well,
so bad.
my biggest complaint, and it was enough to make me not finish it, was I'm this badass assassin. I can dive from several stories up, and I can free run like nobody's business, but I can't fucking swim.
Didn't you love the 3,500 flags you had to find? That was fun.
The second one was fantastic. Brotherhood, not so much. The third one I've heard is amazing.
How about this? Your favorite retro, like 8-bit or 16-bit, not a retro style game, an actual retro
Golden
game.
Axe. Golden Axe all the way. Sega Genesis Golden Axe.
That's a good one.
That's
That's a good
So
one.
many good ones.
Can we do Game Boy games?
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know if Final Fantasy 3 was originally on the Game Boy or if it was, or if
I think
it
it
was
was originally
on
on Super.
Super.
But it would have been counted as an 8-bit, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's older. I don't know how many bits it is, honestly.
But it
I
fits in that
think
genre.
Super Nintendo was either 16 or 32.
16.
In that case, the
Genesis
only...
is 32.
Well, no, you know what?
I could be wrong.
8-bit. I liked A Link to the Past. That was a good one with the golden cartridge and everything.
Easily, Goose Hunting.
Duck Hunt.
Duck Hunt. I played the shit.
I played the shit out of Duck Hunt once I figured out if you put the light gun against something white and pulled the trigger, you always hit.
That's so unfair. My cousin would do that.
That's okay. Do you know about the 2-player version?
No.
If you plug a regular controller into the second port on the NES, you control the ducks with the second controller.
I didn't know that.
Well, now I need to find this.
Yeah.
We need to get this again.
Huh.
Holy crap, Duck Hunt. I could play that for days. That was just, it was so fun. And the original Pong. It's actually surprising how addicting that is.
My favorite co-op game. Also, my favorite retro like 8 or 16-bit game is Castlevania 1.
Good choice. Hard. Man, can you remember how hard those fucking games were?
That
original
fucking
Zelda-
the first bat boss in Castlevania.
They were giant plastic cartridges. Of course they were hard. They're a lot less brittle than discs nowadays.
Oh man, I love those. Do you have any understanding how nice it was to take Mario Kart and just take that thing and bash it against every wall in your house as hard as you could, just so you could put it back in and play it just as if it was brand new?
I didn't do that because the games were expensive.
I did it all the time.
Yeah,
And I
favorite
never break a
co-op
single
game.
one.
Thank you.
Borderlands 2, easily, hands down.
Army of Two. I never played the second one. I really liked Army of Two. Maybe it was just who I played it with, but like I really, really enjoyed that game a lot.
Borderlands 2, hands down. That was the best game. It was the best experience. It was disappointing because I never finished it, but as far as like games I've enjoyed with friends, to me it was like D&D with shooters.
Baldur's Gate.
Oh, Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition.
The one that came out. Baldur's Gate on the PS2 or Fallout Brotherhood of Steel on the PS2.
Never played it.
Fallout was good. I like that a lot. Although the Halo games co-op was a blast. Halos 2 and 3.
Fallout 3 was easily my favorite game on the Xbox 360.
Fallout 3 is another game that I rage quit on immediately. I rage quit after 5 minutes. Because I grew up playing the original Fallouts on the computers, and I'm like, yes, this is gonna be awesome.
You're like the one of 10 people that.
This is gonna be
And then it was Oblivion with guns.
and I hated Oblivion.
And it was literally Oblivion with
I
guns.
bought the game,
But
put it in there, started playing on my PC. It was an open container, so Walmart wouldn't return at this point. I knew it. Took it out of my laptop, snapped it, and fucking burnt the case. Didn't even give it a chance.
Call that fan service, people, in a
See-
very violent fashion.
see, Fallout 3, what sold me in Fallout 3 was, you know how every weapon had a unique version with a special name?
Yeah.
Did you ever find the unique nail board?
Yes.
It's called the Board of Education. That was all it took.
And it was fucking ridiculous how deadly it was. It was a
You
one
know what
shot.
the only difference with those was, right? The unique weapons in Fallout 3, the multiplier for critical hits is different. It's like 5 instead of 2.
But I got the named laser Gatling laser, and
Dewey's Laser Rifle?
yeah, you find it in the long tail. They find it in the cave of those.
Yeah.
By the way, single most frustrating enemy in a game. What creature has pissed you off? the most?
Redeads.
Good choice.
Redeads.
The zombies that humped you to death in Ocarina of Time.
Oh god.
Single.
Now I've done made myself angry just thinking about it.
Flesh pound.
Oh man,
Flesh pound when you're playing on the hardest difficulty.
What?
Killing Floor.
That's up there with almost the best co-op games.
Okay. Imagine this.
Oh, what were they?
Imagine something roughly a foot taller than Charlie, and built like a linebacker, and with drills for hands.
Okay.
Now imagine that if you
All pumped
Throw
up
a
on
rock at
combat drugs.
throw a rock at it, even though it doesn't do any damage to it, you are the target, and it will not stop until it has killed you.
Okay.
What? Oh, I can't remember. What are they on Fallout 3? Fucking
Death claws.
dinosaurs. I have never hated a dinosaur so much in my life.
You know why I like Death Claws?
I don't.
Because you could get a fedora and a red and green striped sweater and a ghoul mask and jeans and a Deathclaw hand as the weapon you could make, and boy, you could roleplay Freddy Krueger in Fallout 3.
I couldn't do that. I saved by accident. It's happened to all this. So saved wrong was the only save I had. I had 2 health in a facility that is just surrounded with death claws, and you can't really hope to outrun them. I got one shot at it. I had to, like, every step I had to save till I eventually got out of there, and then I found my first mini nuke, and then I saved my first mini nuke. I had 35 mini nukes by the time the game ended, and I killed probably 75 death claws in a row. And I just that was literally 12 straight hours just killing death claws because I just hated them so much.
I
I
think
played Fallout 3 as a melee character.
Why don't you hate Death Claws?
Baseball bats.
There's nothing I've hated more.
I think the enemy that I hated the most was Dead Space. The things that kept regenerating. No
Yeah.
matter what you do,
And 2?
they
Yeah, the very end. Oh man, dude.
and they just keep on
Did you
regenerating.
play that on its hardest difficulty?
No.
3 saves the whole game. Yeah.
Jeez.
I had a friend who made it all the way to the end. Never could get past those. They just, because it's bad enough that they don't heal, but their damage is increased like 1,000%.
Another enemy that was really hard, if this counts, is anybody that played Horde on a PvP server. You're on the wrong side.
No, they're on the right side. Don't let this fucker tell
Yeah,
you what
no,
to
there is
do.
only one side in World of Warcraft. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's the Alliance.
No, it's not. In fact, there's only one race in World of Warcraft, and that's Taurens.
Gnomes. Draenei are the 2 best.
Did play Warcraft, sorry.
I was a blood elf.
So you were a faggot elf.
Come on! No, I'm name camping a blood elf on the server I played on in World of Warcraft. I'm name camping a blood elf paladin named Dushenstein.
You're my hero. But, this is classic. This is something every gamer's got. It's your favorite boss fight.
GLaDOS.
GLaDOS was good.
GLaDOS was both in number 2 and number 1. GLaDOS was
That
Did any of you play Golden Sun?
oh
the
original.
No.
Okay. Golden Sun's final boss, one of the phases of the boss fight was a giant 2-headed dragon. And I mean, like, if this was the dragon, if this was the screen, right? The dragon's sprite is this much of the screen and your character's this tall.
My bosses would be twofold. Shadow of the Colossus
Oh.
is one of the single greatest games.
Which Colossus?
Oh, that's a hard question. Mine, the one that I hated the most was the flying one. I hated
The one over the lake or the one in the desert where you had to ride aggro?
at desert.
Yeah, fuck that thing.
Yeah, I hated that thing so much. My favorite one was the bull-headed one.
The bull that you fight in the temple?
Yeah, yeah. I just thought, as far as Colossuses go, he was my favorite just because of the aesthetic of it. It was just such a
I
beautiful.
wanted to play that game and never got
I
it.
have
It's
it.
just,
Do you?
it's an experience.
It is. Like, it's such an artistic game, but at the same time, it's
There's
really
there's no
depressing.
minions. It's so much of it's just a journey just to find the bosses, and your only companion's a horse. It's incredible. But that and Ares. Ares at the end of God of War 1. My God in heaven.
Because you had the blades that you spent all that time upgrading and getting good with the moves, and like, fuck you, here's a sword.
I must have killed, and then they had to make me
You want to know what made
fight
that,
myself.
You know what made that fight with Ares really easy, where you have the derpy sword? The R1 attack. If you just spam the R1 attack, he'll never even touch you.
I didn't come to that conclusion. I remember nearly killing him like 4 times and hitting the reset button on my PlayStation just so I could do it again. I hated that bastard.
Actually, no, my favorite boss fight is the sword fight with Ganondorf at the end of Twilight Princess.
Good choice. Oh, yeah.
Like,
Wow.
just the straight, like, sword duel with Ganondorf. That was fucking awesome.
Yeah. Well, because and the thing about the Zelda games I like so much is the sword fighting is so much skill oriented. It's real time. Your ability to use your shield and your sword is completely based off your ability to read your opponent. So when you're doing that sword fight with Ganon, it feels like you're actually holding the fucking sword and just going toe to toe with this 8-foot monstrosity.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just beautiful.
Ganondorf's my favorite video game villain.
Wow, that's a good topic. Who's your favorite video game villain? Me, Reapers, hands down. Nothing more terrifying. The entire time, every victory you have in Mass Effect is just pointless. Because one of those fuckers destroys everything with such impunity, it just pisses you off. It's just awful. Awful. And 3 illustrates that you felt the other 2 games were points. Like, why are we even fighting? You still fight, but you just realize just how unsurmountable your odds are.
I think my favorite villain from a game, and I can't think of his name. I know that he ends up being you. Was the villain from the first Infamous game.
Ooh.
I've never played Infamous.
Oh man, it's fantastic.
Yeah. It's got some great boss fights in it too.
The main big boss, it turns out, is you from the future. Spoiler. Sorry, that came out late.
You already said that, Alex.
I know. I've said it a couple times this show. But god damn, if there's ever a cocky motherfucker.
No, the fucking Emperor from Super Star Wars. Fuck that fucking guy. Holy
Good villain.
shit.
So your favorite villain is Emperor Palpatine?
No, like that's like one of the most annoying fights I've ever fought in my life.
So your favorite villain is Emperor Palpatine?
He's a good villain.
Yeah,
That's
no,
classic as it gets.
Yeah.
Yep. Running out of categories, but they're all getting funnier.
Well, we're also like
Oh, I never talked about how horrible that Fable game at E3 looks like.
yeah, he has a
Oh, do I
soapbox.
have a rant?
Okay. Please.
Okay, so Fable, I think it's called like Fable Legends. I didn't care enough to check. I have notes.
Yeah, I was saying, get out your notes.
Yeah.
We're gonna go a little bit longer than we have before.
Okay.
This is important.
So Fable Legends is a 5-player online game. 4 of the players are a rogue, a warrior, a mage, and an archer. The 5th player plays the villain, who controls all of the enemies from a top-down perspective.
Okay.
That already sounds neat to me.
You're gonna have a heart attack, aren't you?
I am. Nothing about that sounds like any fun to me. Like, the game takes place 400 years in the past, but it's still in retarded cartoon England. I need a cigarette. And like, I'm just wondering how you can have a plot with that.
I'm gonna assume.
Where are we going to find a plot?
I'm gonna take as a guess that you're a Fable 1 fan, and then 2 and 3 just made you hate everything about it.
Actually, I like 3 a lot. I don't like 2.
1 was great. 2 was okay, and I had a lot of fun with 3.
Okay.
I haven't finished any of them.
Yeah, I've played 2, and I
I've
really
got
liked it.
the first one, and you
Also,
got
I've
the
got
third
the
one.
But from what I saw of the E3 footage, the guy playing the villain, right? You not use a controller. No.
Use a Kinect, don't you?
Smart class. You use a tablet.
Well, at least we know their strategy is to make the game fail.
Yeah. Emulate the Wii U.
I guess we need to wind this down. I guess the last favorite thing for me is probably my funniest game.
Conquer's Bad Fur Day.
Yep.
Hands down.
Every day of the week.
That and
I don't even know if that counts, just because that's like the go-to answer.
It's the go-to because it's fucking
The
hilarious.
second best was Gex Enter the Gecko.
I'm gonna have to go somewhere else with this. Katamari Forever.
Never played it. I've never
How was
played
that funny?
game.
Oh man.
The music, the soundtrack.
The storyline is bizarre. The game itself, it's hilarious to roll up a cat, only to have it be rolled up underneath people. And eventually, you start just rolling up planets.
Yeah, the
It's
concept
just
eventually gets to
fantastic.
the point where you can roll up God himself.
Favorite genre of game?
RPGs all the way.
Action adventure, easily.
Adventure RPGs.
Roguelike.
Action adventure, but I mean, it's kind of hard to phrase it anymore because almost any good game's got elements of all of them.
Last topic. Biggest letdown.
Oh, that's a depressing road.
Skyrim. Don't get me wrong, I liked Skyrim. I enjoyed Skyrim a lot, but I was so disappointed.
Hands down, it has to be Brawl.
Brawl.
Super Smash Bros. Brawl. As much as I love Melee, I mean Melee to me, like, and I mean I understand you guys liking the first one more. That's completely different. But Brawl, Melee was like the only game I played for almost an entire year straight. I mean I play that game every single day. It's by far the game that has the most hours of my life in it. And Brawl, it was fun, it was enjoyable, but it just didn't feel the same. It felt like literally the failure of the Wii, from the GameCube to the Wii, everything wrong with the Wii put into a game. And I played that, and I just needed a couple days alone, like cry a little inside, accept that life is going to have disappointments.
You know, I'm really easy to please when it comes to video games, but
That's not the only thing I've heard he's easy to please with. Ladies.
All 10 seconds.
Alan Wake American Nightmare.
Now, see, I heard tons of good things about Alan Wake. I never played it.
No, the first Alan Wake is amazing.
Yeah, it's really good. It's too short though.
I played it like every day whenever I got home for a few hours for 2 or 3 weeks. It was amazing. It has a fantastic storyline, and it really
great too.
And it really builds up. And there's only one loose end at the end of it. Well, only one real loose end at the end of it. And then American Nightmare. The idea is you're tying up that loose end. You're going to deal with it. Oh man,
I'm in love with the fact the game's called American Nightmare.
Oh.
I think mine, it's got to be Final Fantasy 14. 11 was the best MMO I ever played in my life. I started playing 14. It was okay in alpha. It wasn't that great that it's alpha. Beta, nah, it's tolerable. I'm ready. I'm not hating. I'm ready. It comes out and I play a fucking WoW clone.
Well, you know, when one game of a particular type dominates the entire market, what do you think happens? Everyone else emulates it.
Still waiting for that.
None of us mentioned Eternal Crusade at all.
I don't know what that is.
The Warhammer MMO.
Yeah.
Oh wait, yeah, that is coming out. That's
I wonder when the WoW killer will effectively happen.
WoW's already pretty much.
Yeah,
died.
WoW is an empty.
Yeah, WoW isn't dead, but we'll get that bastard someday.
Yeah, it's died.
Yeah, it just took 24, WoW killers to get it there.
But
It's gonna be the WoW killer, I swear. Except it wasn't at all. Not even a little bit.
Leave answers in the comments. Your favorite games, your least favorite games, what we hate about Charlie, Dylan, and Alex, because everyone loves me. But seriously, fuck these guys. Let them know that Charlie should just leave the camera here and I'll run this by myself. It'll be more successful. But
No, it won't.
again,
You're
my
lazy.
My name's Mike. We've got our unicorn Charlie. We've got our wizard Harry. And we've got our local Satanist Dylan. Thank you from the Nerdy Night Lounge. You have a great night, bitches.
You stay classy.